All right, so today we're going to break down a pretty powerful leadership model. The whole idea is to shift your focus away from simply being in charge and more towards building real capability in the people on your team. So let's get right into it. Okay, before we get into all the theory, I want you to do something for me. Just for a second, think about the most effective leader you've ever known. Got someone in mind? Now, what did they actually do? Like day in and day out? Were they just telling people what to do? Or was there something else going on? Just hold on to that thought. And here it is. This is the big idea, the one that this entire leadership philosophy is built on. It sounds so simple, right? But it's actually incredibly profound. See, the argument here is that the leaders who make the biggest impact, they're not just great managers or inspiring visionaries. No, at their very core, they're teachers. And that one little shift in perspective, it honestly changes everything. Okay, so if we accept that great leaders are great teachers, what does that really mean? Like, what's the goal of leadership then? Let's unpack this new way of thinking. So here's the fundamental switch up. A lot of people think of leadership as just directing traffic, right? Telling people where to go, what to do, when to do it. But this model says, nope, that's not it. It argues that a leader's real number one job is to teach their team how to think for themselves, how to tackle problems on their own, and ultimately, how to lead. But, to really get why this idea is so powerful, we kind of have to look at the problem it's trying to solve. And that problem is something we could call the follower factory. So let's just flip the coin for a second. If the best leaders are teachers, what about everyone else? What actually happens when a leader's main strategy is just directing and controlling, instead of, teaching and empowering? And this right here shows you the massive difference in the outcome. On one side, you've got that follower factory leader. They create dependency because they're always the one with the answers. All the power stays with them. And the team, well, they just become task doers. But on the other side, you've got the teacher leader. They build real capability. They do it by asking questions, not just giving answers. They delegate authority, and their focus is on developing people. It's really the difference between building a team that's completely dependent on you and building a team that can actually lead. So, how do we steer clear of that follower factory? Well, the solution is to completely shift our goal. It's about intentionally, purposefully creating a whole team of leaders. And this is the goal, what's called a teaching organization. And let's be clear about what that means. It means your success as a leader, it's not measured by what you get done, not at all. It's measured by what your team accomplishes because of what you taught them. Their wins are your wins. So look, the point isn't to create this army of loyal followers who just hang on your every word. The real long-term goal is way bigger than that. It's to teach other people so well that you almost make your own leadership, well, redundant. You're teaching them how to lead themselves. Okay, so this all sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually do it? Like, what's the practical application? Well, it all starts with a major shift in your mindset. It's about making teaching your absolute priority. And this quote really nails the mindset. This whole teaching thing, it's not a nice to have. It's not some extra thing you do once a quarter in a formal training session. No way. Winning leaders make teaching a personal priority. It's something they are thinking about and acting on every single day. And this is how it works in practice. It's through something called the learn-teach loop. It's a cycle. First, you start looking at every opportunity, every interaction, as a chance to teach. Then, and this is the cool part, you realize that in the act of teaching, you actually learn the material even better yourself. And finally, you take that new, deeper understanding and you use it to teach, which, of course, starts that powerful, self-reinforcing cycle all over again. Okay, so let's tie this all together. What are the big takeaways here? And more importantly, why should this matter to you right now in your own life? All right, if you only take away a few things, make it these three. First, you've got to completely shift how you measure your own success. It is not about your personal output. It's about the number of leaders you create. Second, remember that leadership is a verb, not a noun. It's something you do actively every day. And third, start looking at your calendar in a new light. Every meeting, every quick chat, every single one-on-one, it's a chance to teach. And this brings us to one final and maybe pretty challenging question. I want you to really think about this.
Look at your team, or your family, or really any group you have influence over, and ask yourself honestly, are your actions building a team that depends on you? Or are you building a team of leaders, a team that's so capable, so empowered that they could not only survive but actually thrive, even if you weren't there tomorrow? The answer to that question, well, that reveals everything.